Capricorn's soul contract, what they came here to learn before you were born, before you took your first breath, before you chose your name, before anyone told you who to be, a contract was written, a soul contract. And if you were born under the sign of Capricorn, or if someone you love carries this ancient energy, then you need to hear what was written in that contract. Because it wasn't just about success. It wasn't about climbing to the top of the mountain. It wasn't even about being the most disciplined person in the room. It was about something far deeper, far more painful, and far more beautiful. Most people think they know Capricorn. They say driven, ambitious, cold workaholic. But that is the surface. That is the armor. What lives beneath that armor is one of the most complex, most spiritually loaded soul blueprints in the entire zodiac. Today, we are going inside that blueprint. We are going to uncover what Capricorn truly came here to learn, the lessons written into their very soul before they were born. And when you understand this, everything changes. Everything you thought was a flaw about Capricorn, it's actually a clue. Every hardship, every closed door, every moment of loneliness, it was all in the contract. Let's read it together. To understand Capricorn's soul contract, you have to start at the beginning. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of karma, time, discipline, and lessons. In ancient astrology, Saturn was called the Great Malefic, the planet that brings suffering, the planet that demands payment, the planet that gives nothing for free. But here is what they didn't say out loud. Saturn is also the planet of mastery, of wisdom earned through fire, of power that cannot be taken away because it was never given. It was built. Capricorn souls chose Saturn as their teacher. Let that sink in. They didn't stumble into this energy. At a soul level, they signed up for the hardest classroom in the zodiac. Why would a soul do that? Because Capricorn carries ancient karma. In many past life traditions, Capricorn souls are said to have held immense power before, leaders, rulers, architects of civilizations. And somewhere in that power there was misuse, not necessarily cruelty, but perhaps coldness, a prioritization of achievement over heart, of legacy over love. So they come back with a specific mission to rebuild, to achieve, but this time with wisdom, with integrity, with a heart open enough to let people in. That is why life for Capricorn often begins hard. Saturn tests them early. Capricorn children frequently carry responsibilities that children shouldn't have to carry, emotional burdens, family pressures, the weight of being the responsible one. They learn quickly that the world doesn't reward weakness, and so they close themselves off, build walls, and begin the long, slow climb. But here's the spiritual truth hidden in all of that. The mountain was never the destination. The mountain was the teacher. Every Capricorn who climbs without understanding this will reach the summit and feel empty, because the summit was never the soul contract. The transformation on the way up, that was the contract. The first and deepest lesson written into Capricorn's soul contract is this: you are worthy without your achievements. This is perhaps the hardest thing a Capricorn will ever believe, because everything in their life has been conditioned to say the opposite. Capricorns are taught, often from childhood, that love is conditional, that approval must be earned, that rest is for the weak, that emotions are a liability, and so they pour themselves into work, into structure, into building something the world can see and measure and validate. They become their resume, their title, their accomplishments. And when those things are stripped away, and at some point Saturn ensures they are stripped away, the Capricorn faces the most terrifying question they've ever encountered. Who am I if I'm not what I've built? This is the initiation. This is Saturn removing the armor and saying, now, face yourself. The Capricorn who survives this moment, who sits in the rubble of their achievements and discovers that they are still whole, still valuable, still worthy, that Capricorn has passed one of the most profound spiritual tests available to a human soul. They stop climbing for other people's eyes. They start building from the inside out, and everything they create after that moment carries a different energy, not desperation, not validation seeking, power, true, unshakable power. If you are a Capricorn hearing this right now, or if you love one, I want to say this clearly. The version of you that rests is not failing. The version of you that asks for help is not weak. The version of you that admits you are struggling is not less than. That version is actually the bravest Capricorn you've ever been. Saturn isn't punishing you. Saturn is carving you into something eternal. If what you're hearing is resonating, if you feel like someone is finally reading the contract you've been living, then you are exactly where you're supposed to be. This is Capricorn Secrets, a channel dedicated to going beneath the surface of this sign and uncovering what the soul is really doing here. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. We go deep here, every single time. And if you know a Capricorn who needs to hear this, send this video to them right now. You might be delivering a message their soul has been waiting for. Now, let's continue, because we're just getting to the most powerful parts. Capricorn's second great soul lesson is one of the most emotionally charged, learning to feel, not just to work, not just to think, not just to plan and execute and achieve, but to actually feel, to be moved, to be vulnerable, to let someone else's pain land in their chest and not immediately try to fix it or categorize it or dismiss it. Capricorns are often called cold, and I want to reframe that completely. Capricorn is not cold. Capricorn is frozen, and there is a profound difference. Cold is a choice. Frozen is what happens when someone experiences so much heat, so much pain, so much pressure, so much emotional weight, so early that the only way to survive was to go still, to become stone, to stop feeling because feeling hurt too much. The Capricorn, who appears emotionless, often has the deepest emotional world of anyone in the room. They have just learned to lock it so far down that even they can't always reach it. And the soul contract says, you must find it again. This is the second great initiation, the thaw. It often comes through love, through loss, through a relationship that breaks through the walls despite all the fortifications, or through grief. The death of a parent, the end of a relationship, the collapse of something they built their whole identity around. Saturn, in his mercy, and yes, Saturn has mercy, uses these moments to crack the ice, not to break the Capricorn, but to give the water inside them somewhere to go. The Capricorn who thaws does not become weak. They become formidable, because now their wisdom has feeling behind it. Their leadership has compassion in it. Their achievements have meaning to them beyond the numbers. The thawed Capricorn is one of the most extraordinary beings on this planet, a mind like a mountain and a heart that has survived the fire. If you are in your thaw right now, if everything feels like it's cracking and you don't know who you are without your armor, I need you to stay with this feeling. Don't run from it. Don't go back to the hustle to escape it. The cracking is the contract being fulfilled. The third lesson in Capricorn soul contract involves one of the most unique gifts Saturn gives this sign, a relationship with time that is unlike any other in the zodiac. Most signs peak young and then plateau. Capricorn works in reverse. There is an ancient astrological truth that says, Capricorn ages backward. They are born old and they get younger as they go. The heaviness they carry in youth gradually lifts. The rigidity softens. The joy that seemed inaccessible in their 30s becomes abundant in their 50s. The playfulness, the laughter, the lightness, it comes, but it comes later. Saturn rules time, and Capricorn's soul contract is in many ways a contract with time itself. The lesson is this: Stop fighting the pace. Trust the timeline. What is meant for you is being built at the speed of permanence, not the speed of convenience. Capricorns often suffer in their 20s and 30s, watching peers seem to move faster. Get the promotions, find the love, build the life. And the Capricorn wonders, why is it so much harder for me? Why do I have to work twice as hard? Why does everything I build take so long? Because you are not building for a season. You are building for a lifetime. The things Capricorn creates, the relationships, the businesses, the bodies of work, are meant to last. And lasting things cannot be rushed. They must be laid with intention, tested with pressure, refined through time. Saturn is not making Capricorn suffer by slowing them down. Saturn is making Capricorn last. The soul contract says, surrender to your timeline. The harvest is coming, but it will come when it is ready, and not one moment before. For every Capricorn who has ever felt behind, you are not behind. You are on Capricorn time, and Capricorn time is sacred. Now we enter one of the most esoteric parts of Capricorn's soul contract, and one of the most rarely discussed. Capricorn, at its highest vibration, is not just about worldly achievement. It is about the integration of the inner and outer worlds, and this is where many Capricorns get stuck. The archetype of Capricorn is the sea goat, a mythical creature that is half mountain goat, half fish. The goat climbs the mountain, visible, external, measurable progress. The fish swims in the depths, invisible, internal, emotional, spiritual. Most Capricorns spend the first half of their lives being the goat, climbing, achieving, mastering the external world. And the soul contract begins to call them, often through crisis, often through loss, into the water. The fish half of the Capricorn symbol is almost never talked about, but it is crucial. It represents the inner life, the dream world, the spiritual dimension, the unconscious. And Capricorn's soul evolution requires them to eventually dive into those depths. This is why so many Capricorns, particularly after their first Saturn return around age 29, begin to feel a pull toward spirituality, toward introspection, toward asking the questions that their structured, goal-oriented mind previously had no patience for. What is the purpose of all this? What am I actually building? What do I leave behind that matters? These are the fish's questions, and the Capricorn who learns to ask them and sit with them, not rush to solve them, enters the second phase of their soul contract. The phase where the mountain and the depths become one, where ambition serves the soul rather than silencing it, where every external achievement is an expression of inner alignment rather than a substitute for it. This integration, goat and fish, mountain and ocean, achievement and surrender, is the spiritual masterpiece that Capricorn came here to create. After all the lessons, the weight of worth, the thaw, the timeline, the integration, what does the evolved Capricorn give to this world? Everything. When Capricorn has done their inner work, they become one of the most powerful forces for good that exists in this world. Not power as in control, power as in transformation. The healed Capricorn is the elder, the wise one, the one who has been through the fire and come back with not just survival, but wisdom. And they share that wisdom. They become the mentor, the builder, the foundation upon which others stand. Capricorn's gift to the world is endurance, proof that it is possible to go through the hardest things, the loneliness, the pressure, the failures, the stripped identities, and come out not just intact, but more yourself than you have ever been. Capricorn builds things that outlast them. That is their magic. Their legacy is not just what they achieve. It's the people they make feel less alone. The structures they create that give others something solid to hold on to. The quiet, steady presence that says, I have been here, I have seen the dark, and I kept going. The Capricorn who has honored their soul contract does not just reach the top of the mountain. They turn around and reach down a hand to help others climb. That is what they came here to do. That is the final clause in the contract. I want to close this with something that goes beyond analysis, because Capricorn is not just an intellectual study. They are a feeling, a frequency, a sacred weight that the world needs. So if you are a Capricorn, or if you love one, I want you to hear this. You did not come here to be easy. You came here to be deep. You did not come here to be understood by everyone. You came here to understand yourself. You did not come here to burn fast and bright. You came here to burn long and true. Every scar that Saturn has given you is a signature, evidence that you survived something, evidence that the contract is being fulfilled. The mountain you've been climbing, you chose it. Not because you were punishing yourself, but because somewhere in the vast blueprint of your soul, you knew you could handle it. You knew that what waited on the other side of the climb, the wisdom, the compassion, the unshakable sense of self, was worth every hard step. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too serious, too guarded, too much, or not enough. You are a Capricorn. And you are right on time. If this video moved something in you, if it named something you've felt but never had words for, please take a moment right now to like this video. It tells the universe you want more of this. Subscribe to Capricorn Secrets if you haven't yet. This channel exists because Capricorns deserve to be truly seen, not just described, truly seen. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. We go deep into soul contracts, karmic lessons, Saturn transits, and everything that makes Capricorn one of the most extraordinary signs in the zodiac. And in the comments, I want to hear from you. What part of this video resonated most deeply? What part of your soul contract have you been living without even realizing it? I'll be reading every single comment. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing to go deep. This is Capricorn Secrets, and this was your contract.